When we think about vegetables and heart health, mushrooms may not be the first food that comes to mind. They don't look like leafy greens, they aren't brightly colored like peppers or tomatoes, and technically, mushrooms aren't vegetables at all. They belong to their own biological kingdom, fungi. But from a nutrition perspective, edible mushrooms can be an interesting addition to a healthy eating pattern. They are naturally low in calories and provide important nutrients and bioactive compounds, including B vitamins, selenium, potassium, copper, and antioxidants. Some varieties also contain compounds that researchers are studying for their potential effects on cardiovascular health. But can mushrooms actually help support your heart? And what makes these unusual foods nutritionally valuable? In this episode, we'll explore the nutrition of mushrooms, their antioxidants, their role in a heart-conscious diet, different varieties, and the best ways to include them in your meals. Let's take a closer look at mushrooms for heart health.
One of the first things that makes mushrooms interesting is their nutritional profile. Mushrooms are generally low in calories and fat, while providing a variety of vitamins, minerals, and other naturally occurring compounds. Depending on the variety, mushrooms can provide B vitamins, such as riboflavin, niacin, and pantothenic acid. These vitamins are involved in important processes, including energy metabolism and normal cellular function. Mushrooms can also provide minerals, such as selenium, copper, and potassium. Selenium is an essential mineral that contributes to antioxidant defense and normal thyroid function. Copper plays a role in energy production, connective tissue formation, and normal nervous and immune system function. Potassium is important for normal muscle and nerve function, and also contributes to maintaining normal blood pressure. The exact nutritional composition varies between mushroom varieties. That's one reason why eating a variety of foods is more useful than relying on a single so-called superfood. Mushrooms are best viewed as one nutritious component of an overall balanced diet.
So, where does the heart come into the picture? The connection starts with the overall nutritional pattern. A heart-conscious diet generally emphasizes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, and other nutrient-rich foods, while limiting excessive amounts of saturated fat, sodium, and highly processed foods. Mushrooms can fit comfortably into this pattern. Because they're naturally low in calories and can add a satisfying, savory flavor to meals, mushrooms can sometimes help people build meals around more plant foods. For example, mushrooms can be combined with vegetables and whole grains instead of relying heavily on processed or high-saturated fat ingredients. This is important because heart health isn't determined by one food. It's influenced by the overall quality of your diet and lifestyle over time. Mushrooms can contribute to that bigger picture.
Mushrooms also contain several antioxidant compounds. Antioxidants help the body manage oxidative stress, a process that occurs naturally when cells produce energy and respond to their environment. Mushrooms contain compounds such as selenium and various polyphenols and other bioactive substances that contribute to their antioxidant capacity. One particularly interesting compound found in many mushrooms is ergothioneine. Ergothioneine is a naturally occurring antioxidant compound that mushrooms can provide through the diet. Scientists continue to investigate its biological role and potential health effects. This doesn't mean mushrooms are a cure or that eating them will automatically prevent heart disease. The important point is that mushrooms contribute a range of naturally occurring compounds to the diet, and when combined with other nutrient-rich foods, they can help create a more diverse nutritional pattern.
Some mushrooms also contain a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucans. Beta-glucans are naturally occurring polysaccharides found in several foods, including certain mushrooms, oats, and barley. Research has shown that specific types of beta-glucans can have beneficial effects on cholesterol levels. However, the amount and type of beta-glucans vary considerably between mushroom species. This is an important distinction. Not every mushroom has the same nutritional composition, and not every health claim associated with one variety applies equally to all mushrooms. This is why it's better to think of mushrooms as a diverse food group rather than a single superfood.
Their potential value comes from the combination of fiber, micronutrients, antioxidants, and other bioactive compounds they provide.
Walk into almost any large grocery store and you'll find several varieties of edible mushrooms. Button mushrooms are among the most common. They're mild, versatile, and easy to add to everyday meals. Cremini mushrooms are closely related to button mushrooms, but are typically darker and slightly richer in flavor. Portobello mushrooms are mature versions of the same general mushroom family and are often used as a hearty meat alternative. Then there are varieties such as shiitake, oyster, and enoki mushrooms. Each variety has its own texture, flavor, and nutritional characteristics. Shiitake mushrooms, for example, are especially popular in Asian cuisine. Oyster mushrooms have a delicate texture and can be sautéed or added to soups and stir-fries. Enoki mushrooms have long, thin stems and a distinctive appearance. Trying different varieties can make healthy eating more interesting, and variety is one of the easiest ways to prevent a healthy diet from becoming repetitive.
One of the biggest advantages of mushrooms is how easy they are to use. You can sauté them with vegetables and herbs, add them to soups, mix them into whole grain dishes, include them in omelets, add them to salads, or roast them as a flavorful side dish. Mushrooms can also provide a rich, savory flavor called umami. This can make meals satisfying without requiring large amounts of heavy sauces or excessive salt. That can be especially useful when you're trying to build healthier meals. Instead of thinking about mushrooms as a replacement for every food, think of them as an ingredient that helps increase the variety and nutritional value of your meals.
There is one important safety point to remember. Not every mushroom is edible. Wild mushrooms can be difficult to identify, and some species can be extremely poisonous. For that reason, only eat mushrooms that come from a reliable food source, or that have been correctly identified by a qualified expert. Also remember that supplements and concentrated mushroom extracts are very different from ordinary culinary mushrooms. Our focus here is on edible mushrooms as part of a normal diet. For most people, the simplest approach is also the most practical. Choose safe, edible mushrooms and enjoy them as part of a varied, balanced diet. Mushrooms are interesting, but they shouldn't be viewed as a magic solution for heart health. There is no single food that can guarantee protection from heart disease. Instead, cardiovascular health depends on many factors working together. Eating plenty of vegetables and fruits, choosing high-fiber foods, including healthy sources of protein, being physically active, maintaining a healthy body weight when appropriate, getting adequate sleep, avoiding tobacco, and working with healthcare professionals to manage conditions such as high blood pressure or high cholesterol when necessary. Mushrooms can be one small but valuable part of this bigger picture. And that's really the lesson behind this entire vegetable series. Healthy eating isn't about finding one perfect food. It's about building a pattern of good choices that you can maintain for years. Mushrooms may not technically be vegetables, but they certainly deserve attention when we're talking about nutritious foods that can fit into a heart-conscious diet. They're naturally low in calories and provide B vitamins, minerals such as selenium and potassium, antioxidants, and other bioactive compounds. Different varieties offer different nutritional characteristics, making mushrooms a versatile way to add variety and savory flavor to healthy meals. But remember, mushrooms aren't a miracle food. Their value comes from how they fit into the bigger picture of balanced nutrition and healthy living. So, the next time you see mushrooms at the grocery store, don't overlook them. Add them to a soup, sauté them with vegetables, roast them, or experiment with a new variety. Small changes like these can make healthy eating more enjoyable and more sustainable, and that's what matters most for long-term heart health. In our next chapter, we'll continue our journey through heart-conscious vegetables and explore another nutrient-rich food, asparagus for heart health. Stay with BioSci 360 as we continue exploring how everyday foods can support a healthier lifestyle.